Ease, how you doing, buddy? How you doing, my man? What's going on? All right, we can hear. Can you please explain the benefits of setting the purple zones to flats and the flat zones to deep yards, 15 to 25 yards, where the purples normally play? I'm assuming you are talking about setting your purple, your purple, like your zone drops, Ease. That's what you're talking about? Just to clarify, you're talking about why do people typically set their purples to the shorter zone drops and the flats to the deeper ones? Is that what we mean by that? Let me go to the play now game. As you all know, if you want to test or play around with zone drops, you cannot do zone drops on practice mode. You can't set zone drops on practice mode. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my second controller. All right. Doesn't really matter. Okay. Got you. Okay, so that's exactly what you're talking about. Okay, cool. I got you, Ease. I got you. Say no more. I got you, my guy. All right. Make Reeves, what's going on with you? Chat, if you are in my Twitch chat, this is an office hours session. Right now we're gonna be answering questions, man. Huddle GG office hours session. I'm answering questions. Priority goes to the office hours Discord. Second goes to the YouTube. Then we go to my Twitch chat. For those of you that are in my Twitch chat. All right, so with zone drops, the reason why we set purples for the lower zone drops than flats is because the purples tend to play to the sideline a little bit better. That's at least the reason why I do it. Ease, I'll set my purples to the lower flat, whereas when you set your purples for the deeper flat, for some reason they kind of play inside a little bit, and I'll show you what I mean by that. I'll just set it for like 25, set flat to 5. All right, and pick basic cover 3, and let me see. Let me go for a play with like a crossing route or something like that. Trips tight end. All right, let's go with PA crossers. All right, so we got our zone drop set to 25, our purples. Watch how I want you to watch kind of how the purples, they play inside. Actually, let me turn the play clock off too. They'll play inside. They play further inside when they play deep, but for some reason they play better as flats than they do as short flats than they do as deeper flats. So that's typically the reason why I like to do it. There's a lot of different reasons. Some people do it because because if they put their, if you just shade underneath, it's easier to put your linebackers in purples than it is to put your linebackers in flats. So then when you go to flats, so like another reason why you would do it is, you see how we got purples. So let's say we wanted to, and it definitely depends on which purples you use. If whether it's a curl flat or seam flat. Most people are going to use curl flats. Seam flats, these zones, even though they have zone drop responsibilities, they still kind of play their role. As far as they're still going to play their role as far as like the zone drop. I mean, or the actual zone. So like if it's a curl to flat, it's going to still kind of play a little bit curl to flat. Same with seam flats. So the seam flats kind of play the seams first and then go out towards the flats. So that's the one thing that's one of the reasons why I always use the curl flats. But it's a faster adjustment if I am trying to do, let's say I'm trying to double Mabel, right? It's faster for me to come out and press Y and down. Now I got two flats. Now I got two flats out there on the field. Then it's very easy for me to go this, to just do that really quickly. Like just do the quick adjustment to the linebackers and put them in purples. The flat adjustment, the hard flat adjustment changes sometimes on different linebackers and locations. So that's the reason why it's just easier to just put the linebackers in curl flats. But one of the reasons why I like that as well is because the hard flats, they don't play the flats as good. They don't play the flats as good. They come back towards the middle of the field really fast. And so I'll show you what I mean by that. I'm gonna put Y on a flat. Watch what happens here. Yeah. And then you got the quarter flats as well. I don't know what happened right there. Did the zone just rush? All right. So we're gonna put him here, him here. I'm gonna put that guy in a spot. All right, so watch the flats and how they work. So we got two flats, and watch how these two flats are gonna be wide open as the play develops. Because the flats are just gonna come back towards the middle of the field. They go to the flat, and then they come back middle. Actually, never mind. They're doing their job today. Was there a patch? Maybe they're playing a whole lot better these days, I guess. But that's the reason why we used to do it. Because they definitely didn't do it there. They played perfect there. If that's the case, then they're fine. But they used to come back towards the middle of the field. Forgive me because I haven't really played the game much. Since these patches and stuff like, oh, they still do it? Okay, I got people in my Twitch chat saying they still do it. I don't know why they didn't do it there though. All right, we're gonna do it again. Let's see. And then watch the purples. And even the purples are playing more towards the sideline right now. Even the purples are playing more towards the sideline. Let me go back to the replay. Like if you look at that look at how they played there. Everybody kind of played towards the sideline once they got there. I did get shedded, but so we got a purple over there. But you see how, all right, you see how this purple kind of came inside here? This is kind of the reason why you don't like it, because a lot of times they'll do this, what you see here. Where he's kind of sitting in the middle of the field, and you look how much space there is over here. If there was a route coming over here, like a corner route or anything like that, that's a lot of space to complete a pass. So that's another reason, you know what I'm saying? That's one of the reasons why we didn't like some of these zones. Like, so like if you had like a cloud flat or a hard flat there, they play a little bit closer towards the sideline on the deeper zones than they do on the shorter zones. And the purples play better on the lower flats, in my opinion. Whereas they don't do this as much. Where you see how much space there is. He's all the way at the numbers. He'll end up at the number sometimes. So that's one of the things. Now he does kind of start to make his way back, but even still, look where he stopped at. There's a big, I mean, how many yards is that? They got to be at least 5 yards, 5 to 7 yards of space between him and the sideline. So that's enough cushion on Madden to be able to make a sideline throw if they're doing things like that. And so that's typically why We don't like purples being the deeper zones. Does that make sense, Ease? And this, honestly, right now, these low hard flats don't typically do that. They don't typically play this far to the sideline. Normally, after a couple seconds, they start to come inside where this guy is. Whereas if I have them on a deeper flat, they stay closer towards the sideline. But they're doing a solid job right here. But hopefully that makes sense, Ease. If it's not, then we can further elaborate on it if you need me to. King Prince, can you speak about the best way to stop short passes to the flats? King Prince, kind of the same thing what we're talking about right here. You want to go to your coach adjustments. Do I have 146? I'm not sure if I have 146 in this playbook, Raiders, but what's the question? C Hart, I mean, I'm glad you are like just a master genius. But so yeah, so if you're trying to take away flats, King Prince, what you'd like to do is you want to mess with these zone drops, man. You want to mess with your zone drops. So like when you go to zone drops and go to flats, flats equal hard flats, cloud flats, soft squats. Okay? And so if these numbers are equal to the depth of which they're going to play. So if you put it on 0, he's going to play at 0 yards. So if you really need him to jump, if you really need him to jump a flat or anything like that, a 0 is what you can put him on. But if you want 5 yards, is what I normally like to put it. So this is 5 yards. He's going to play 10 yards at this and so forth. So you can set it like that. So every time you put any type of blue zone, any type of blue flat, hard flat, cloud flat, or squat flat, this is the zone of the how deep on the field they're going to guard. And then same with curl flats. Curl flats is your curl flat zones, quarter flat zones, and your seam flat zones. So if you have one of those zones on your field and you have this zone drop set, that's how deep they're going to guard King Prince. But if you don't have anything set and you're trying to guard the flats, the best thing to do is put a hard flat on the field. If you're on default, the best thing for you to do is to put a hard flat on the field. So let's just say, let's go to curl combo right here. All right, let's just say that flat right there to Y is just killing you. It's killing you. Like he just, for some reason, whatever zone you have on the field is not guarding it. All you gotta do, even if you're on default, but if you're not on default and you have it at a 5-yard flat is going to guard it, or even a 5-yard curl flat is going to guard it. You can do the quick adjustments, or press YY or triangle on PlayStation to pull up the adjustments, your coverage adjustments, and then you pick which player. So it will be Y, and then I press left on the right on the D-pad, and it puts him in a hard flat. Hard flat is going to guard. It's going to play hard to the flat. So he's going to jump the shorter routes, the shorter flats and stuff like that. He's not going to play passive and try to play in between intermediate route or anything like that. He's going to sit there and play. He's going to play underneath immediately. So that's going to be his job, to play the underneath routes first. So you're going to see I can't throw that flat because he's going to jump. That's his responsibility. Same as if I put either the flats or the curl flats on 5-yard zone depth. So either way, that's one of the ways to take away flats. CMC Clutch, what's good, man? How you doing, bro? C Hart, man, you're a defensive master genius, okay? You are a defensive master genius. Don't you ever forget it. Let me see. Let's see what other kind of questions we have. Meg Reeves was good. He said, bro, I swear I've been running DB Sting out of 146, and I labbed it myself. I said like a cover 2 with a deep blue, and so glitchy. Okay. And so you just put like a deep blue in the middle of the field. So you just put like, so you basically have 3 deep blues. You got the 2 deep halves. You got 2 deep halves, Raiders. And then you got a deep third, inside third, a deep middle on one of your linebackers to kind of take away any skinny posts, or just stopping your opponent from being able to split the safeties, basically, is what you're saying. So I get what you're saying. I like that. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely a good way to spamming buttons. How do I stop RB out of bunch? You gotta adjust, my buddy. You got to adjust. But hey man, you know what to do. There's a lot of different things. But honestly, the slot guy, the slot receiver in almost all offenses are the hardest people to stop. If and no troll, no, all jokes aside, like the hardest people to stop on the field are the guys in the slot. Excuse me. The most dynamic routes come from the slot. Think about it. When you're going against gun bunch, slot guy, he's on post routes, corner routes. That's where your post routes, corner routes, crossing routes, like all these routes right there. All those routes are the toughest routes to guard. So like that's what makes it like complicated to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Like it's really hard to deal with these things when you got like all of the glitchiest, toughest routes coming from that slot guy. You know, those guys, you know, they're gonna run all the glitchy routes, the corner routes and stuff like that. And so the only way you really can slow down stuff like that is like honestly combo coverage. You know what I mean? Like real talk, combo coverage. It would be the best thing to do. You know, manning someone up and mixing in like a zone. So let's say like a corner out's killing you from a slot guy. You man the guy up and then maybe have like a cover excuse me, a cover 2 shell on the side where his corner out could potentially be going. So then you can really kind of deal with it from there. So yeah. No, I will not be streaming the ladders. I'll be streaming in the Discord with the tier 3 subs. Got any go-to Tampa 2 beaters? Yes, King Prince. Let's go over some of that. C Hart, if you have any questions, by all means, fire away. Fire away. This is what this is about. So if you have any question, I am all ears. I will answer any one of your questions right now. So fire away. Be my guest. One thing you can do for cover 2 beaters, you got to know where cover 2 is most vulnerable. It's going to be most vulnerable in between that flat and deep half. So on the sidelines, in between the flat and the deep half, and also being able to split those safeties. That's another area where they're going to be vulnerable. So there's different things you can do. Okay, you have no questions, just watching. Say no more. So there can be different things you can do. Let's just take this play right here out of spread. Spread FL cross. All right. Cover 2. Tampa 2. Here we go. Oh, dang. I forgot it was a 2-point conversion play. All right, hold on. Let me But one thing you can do is splitting those safeties. Split those safeties. So by doing things like having a corner out that may make one of the deep halves split out, and then having a post, a skinny post that comes back from the opposite direction, coming towards the side that going the same direction as your corner out. That can really kind of split safeties, and I'm going to show you exactly what I mean by that. All right, Tampa 2. Let me see. See if I can find a play that already has what I'm looking for. But post routes are always going to be really good for trying to split those zones or split those safeties. Okay, here we go. So you see how this play right here, you have a skinny post coming from the right and a corner route from your slot guy on the left. That corner route is going to force that deep half to have to split out and guard more towards the sideline because he can't leave it all up to the flat over there at cornerback on the left side. So this combination right here, just a simple post corner route combination can help you split those safeties right here. You don't want to have a streak in the middle because what the streak does is then changes the responsibility of the deep half and makes him play more deep. And then it pretty much prevents your ability to be able to split those safeties. So you don't really want to have a streak there. So you'll see that safety has to split out, which then creates an opening for your skinny post to get right over the top. That makes sense? That's like one of the best cover two beating concepts that you can use. It's going to work. You know, those type of concepts are going to work no matter what Madden we're playing. This isn't a Madden 22 thing. It's a Madden thing. I wouldn't even say necessarily it's just a Madden thing. It's a football concept thing. Like it's just a responsibility of their, you know, it's a football thing, really is. Like it's just gonna work in football regardless, because that if you got a corner out deep enough to force the safety's responsibility, then you're gonna be able to have a skinny post to come through and split those safeties. So that concept is gonna work in Madden, in football, it doesn't matter. But you know, that don't get me on the tangent. I was about to get on one. All right. How to stop non-stop rollouts? Non-stop rollouts. I mean, honestly, it's really hard to stop people from rolling out non-stop. I'm not gonna lie to you, my man. That thing is gonna be a really tough thing to deal with. But one of the best ways, I think we went over this last week. So I'll do it out of this. Let's see. One of the best ways to kind of stop people from rolling out is containing one. So you want to press RB or R1 on PlayStation, and then press it again, and that gets to contain. Now, what I don't like to do, what you don't want to do is you really want to, I like to have, shout out to my man's Dab on him with a gifted sub and a tier 1 sub of his own. I appreciate you, my guy. What I like to do, one of the principles that are really good for stopping people from rolling out would be you don't want your most outside guy in a contain. I like that guy in a blitz angle. So if you're not on baseline, then you might want to click on and move him out. Like so, you see where he's not in the contain anymore, and the defense alignment inside of him is in a contain. That's a better concept if they're like rolling out. So if they're rolling out to your right, then that's where you want to be able to stop them from rolling out. I like this kind of a concept better for being able to stop someone from rolling out. So I'm about to do it right here, because then it makes the contain kind of go outside. I still was kind of able to get outside on him. You see, for some reason, he still let me outside. But did you see how that was a much better contain, even with a tight end delay fade? That was a much better contain, and your opponent is going to be much more apprehensive to roll out with that contain, like playing like that. So that's one of the better ways. If you're trying to stop someone from rolling out, you want to kind of have that kind of a combination where you have a contain on the edge, but a blitzing guy right outside of that contain. Let me check the Discord. How do you defend spread? Let's say the play circle, cover 3 gets smoked. In the seams, yes, cover 3 gets killed in the seams against spread. Cover 4 gets smoked outside / middle. Man is trash. Okay, One of the best ways to play spread, in my opinion. JT Cole, how you doing, my man? Anybody that just came, that's in my chat watching, man, this is a Huddle GG office hour session, man, where it's a live Q&A session where we're on for an hour and I just answer questions, man. And the priority is the Huddle GG Discord first, and then we go to the Huddle GG YouTube, and then I answer questions from my chat as well. Stafford's the best, man. Stafford is the best. I tried to tell you, JT. I tried to tell the people, man. Y'all didn't want to listen. But anyway, let me go. So one of the things I like against spread is I like to do a cover 3 cloud look. I think cover 3 cloud looks or cover 6 looks. I don't like to use the actual play cover 6 because that's a match concept. That's a match defense. He's definitely better than A-Rod. But that's a match defense. So I don't want to do that. I don't want to match. So what I'll do is I'll either create my cover 6 or I'll just come out in like a cover 3 cloud. So, and what I like to do, let me see, does this have a cover 3 cloud? Okay, it has a cover 3 cloud. So I think this is one of the better things you can do. So one, when you're going up against spread and you got like a nickel corner out there, let's say you're playing nickel defense, right? You want your nickel cornerback on the wide side of the field at all times. So you see how right now the ball is on the right hash mark. So you want your slot cornerback on the left side. You want him on the wide side of the field. You want him directly over that receiver. One, it's going to slow down his release. Then you also always have the option to man him up, man press him if you need to take away his seam routes or whatever the case may be. And you can put him on a seam flat. If you put him on a seam flat, then and you're on default and you don't do any shading, if that guy goes on a seam route, he's gonna match him. And he's gonna match him and follow him up the seam, and he's not gonna give up those seam routes. All right. Then what you would do is, so now you got a much better coverage here. So then you want your cloud flat or hard flat on the short side of the field. So your outside cornerback that's in a flat, you want him on the short side of the field at all times. So if the ball was on the left hash, then this coverage will be flipped. So then now you're able to play much better defense because now you can guard the short side seam with your user yourself and take that away and still also have an impact on other routes and that may be on the field. So hopefully that makes sense. But that's my best and favorite type of coverage shell against spread looks. That right there. Blitzing spread has always been kind of crazy because, like you said, the quick seam routes and stuff like that is a pain to have to deal with. So that's one thing you definitely want to keep in mind. But I like kind of a cover 3 cloud coverage more than anything against spread. Another thing you can do is probably, you can mix in a seam flat on that slot cornerback. Sometimes you can put them in a vert hook. Yeah, vert hooks and seam flats are really, really good for that. Hey, Boost, thanks for doing this. What's your go-to defense inside the 5-yard line? I like cover 4. I like cover 4 with vert hooks. Cover 4 with vert hooks is a really good defense. Whether it's a cover 4 drop, no match defense. I don't mean any match. No, nothing match because I'm not a fan of match in the red zone because that's still essentially like a man defense. Then your guys start going all over the place. I'm talking about more of a true cover 4 drop type look. So one thing you might want to do is play the sticks or set your zone drops. If you set your zone drops, that's always good as well. So if you're inside the 5, you can set your zone drops to 5. You can set your curl flats to 5, and maybe even your hook curls to 5. So like something like this would be, let me set my curl flats to 5, hooks to 5. Where am I at? I'm at the 13. Let me get inside the 5-yard line. All right, that's good enough. So one thing I like to do with this being set like this, I would shade over the top. I don't leave the quarter flats. I would do curl flats. Then I would have like a vertical hook somewhere on the field. So I put the vert hook here on this side. So then my responsibility would be, my only responsibility would be this little small area of the field. Pretty much everything is going to be covered with this simple adjustment. Because your outside quarters are going to kind of play towards the sidelines. You see how they kind of play towards the sidelines, and you got those inside quarters on your safeties. They're going to kind of help you with any seam routes and different things like that. Look at my defensive tackle. What is he doing? Somebody please tell me. So yeah, it really kind of dictates things for like really kind of like you being, it will make it really, the windows are very, very small. That's all you really can do in the red zone is make the windows small. You make the windows small, it's more likely for them to make a mistake and throw a pick, something like that, turn the ball over, and then boom, you get what I'm saying? So it's just like, that's really what you're trying to do to accomplish in the red zone. Make those windows small. Don't blitz too many people or have too many zones in the same exact area. You want to kind of have zones in each and every area to where now you can just guard one small area and make it tough on your opponent to make a read. Yeah, that cover four would definitely give your opponent trouble in the red zone against flood. Flood will struggle a little bit. It's the windows aren't going to be there. It just depends on where you're at on the field. If you're at the 10-yard line, you may want to set your zone drops to 10, your purples to 10, and your hook curls to 5. I would recommend kind of keeping the hook curls to the lower zone drop until it's like a 4th down or something like that, because they're going to have like hitches and stuff like that on the field. So I would leave it to 5 unless it's like 4th and 10 or 4th and goal at the 10. Then you would maybe raise them to 10 yards. So it just depends on where you're at, but you just want to be cognizant of where you're at on the field, on what your zone drops need to be set. The ones I change the most is the curl flats, more than the hook curls. That generally stays at the 5. KC has 4 formations with 4 receivers to one side of the formation. Do you have any universal concepts or hot routes to exploit the defense? You can. I mean, it depends on what defense you're going up against, Ease. It really does. It depends on exactly what defense, what you're going up against to determine like what's the combination. You can do high-low reads. You can definitely do high-low reads. You can set up flood concepts. It really just depends on what you're going up against as far as universal concepts. I mean, a curl flat combination would be great. A curl flat combination where you got a curl, a flat, and then maybe a post on one of those receivers. So it's a lot of different things you can do, but that's probably one of your better ones. I would say that curl flat combination. That's your best one. A curl to your most outside guy, a flat to the guy next to him, and then a post or a crosser or whatever you want from the next guy will be one of your better route combinations. That's one of the best ones I can give you. That's going to be more universal. Hopefully that one works. And just type in the chat if you need me to kind of give you a visual of what I'm explaining. Let me see what's more questions. Tom, it depends on what defense I'm in. It really does. Me pinching defense, I just picked a random cover 4. I wasn't telling you to use that particular cover 4. I was just saying I just picked a cover 4. That wasn't like a recommendation to use that one from the formation I went to. So it just depends on the defense. If it's a defense where the defensive line is more spread out, then you probably want to pinch. But if it's not, then you may want to leave it stock. So it just depends on what defense you're in. Let me see. Base defense to come out, Ante. 3-3-5 wide. Double 3-3 excuse me. 3-3-5 wide. I got this cold air just blowing in my eyes and stuff like that. It's making me yawn. Sorry. 3-3-5 wide is probably one of your best base defenses to come out in. It's the meta. It's the meta for a reason. It's very easy to run. It's very easy to adjust out of it. That's why most people are going to run it, and then you can get the loop and blitz and stuff like that out of it. You can double Mabel out of it. Do I have 3-3-5 wide in this playbook? I do not. All right, so let me quit out of this. Oops, I restarted. But 3-3-5 wide is your best one of your best defenses. You can run double Mabel, cover 3 double Mabel, and just basically set your zone drops to set one deeper than the other. You would do like a 20, 25, or 30 on one, whether that's your curl flats or your flats, and then you would do a 5 yard for whatever for the opposite flat, whether it's the curl flat or the flat. It just depends on which one's your preference. And then you can just set double flats. That's like one of your best options for being able to play defense, man. It's if you want a base defense to run to get really good at and get the most reps in it, 3-3-5 wide is probably gonna be your best option. 3-3-5 wide. A lot of people, everyone uses this Mike Blitz 3. And then you can just come out and it. Set your zone drops. You cannot set your zone drops in practice mode. So just assume that my zone drops are set. And so like one of the easiest things you can do is as soon as you come out, press Y, coverage adjustments, shade down, and then it just put my cornerback and my safety in the hard flats for me. So if I had my flats set to 25, now those guys are going to play 25 yards already. And that's I set that up really fast. It takes me 2 seconds. Oh God, he snapped the ball so fast. I forgot I was in practice mode against the computer. So that's set already. Then the next thing I would do my quick adjustments for my linebackers. Then boom, now I got 2 flats. So now I got my purples playing 5 yards and my flats playing 20, 25. I can send 3 people like so. And that's a simple base defense you can run. And you can kind of mix up your zone drops and how deep you want them to actually play. With just messing with your zone drops, and it will cover a lot of the field. That's one of the best universal ways to play. And then you can always mix in the blitz as well, and and loop as well. Do the loop and blitz. All right, hike the ball, Matt Ryan, please. We didn't scream there, but it doesn't matter. But yeah, you can mix in a little bit of pressure as well out of it as well. So that's your best universal defense to kind of run or get used to. I'd say for sure. Base defense, I should say. I'll stop post and a slot out of Pat's playbook. You want to just have a post. I mean, not a post. What you want to do, you want to have a deep third. I just screamed somehow. I need to know how I just did that. You want to have you got to have a deep third in the middle. Those post route. That post route is not going to get open if you got a deep third. Adjusting first crossers, put 30-yard flats. That's one of your best things to do. 30-yard flats. You set your zone drops to 30. That's one of the best things you can do. Or just say, you know what? Get some pressure on the quarterback. Don't let them have all day. Blitz more people. At the end of the day, if you give someone time, whether it's Madden or real life, if they have enough time, the route is unguardable. Never forget that. If they have enough time, the routes are unguardable, no matter what. So the game is always going to be about pressure, whether it's real life or Madden. So if your 30-yard zone drops are still getting cooked, then they probably have too much time. So then your next bet is, how do I get more pressure? How do you get pressure out of whatever defense you're running? You might need to blitz more people. Do something. Contain. Keep them in the pocket to where they can't roll out to throw that crosser. That gives them more space to kind of work with and manipulate things. Because zone defense, they are looking at the quarterback. So because they're looking at the quarterback. If the quarterback rolls out, that is kind of like, you know, basic football knowledge. If the quarterback's rolling out, they are going to kind of come forward and come towards the quarterback a little bit because they're looking at the quarterback, so he's now a threat to gain yards. So that's, you know, you just got to kind of, if the 30-yard flats or 30-yard zones aren't taking it away, your next bet is pressure. I am on next gen. But to take away the post out of A slot, do I have it in this playbook? I don't, but we're gonna do this play as a makeshift. We're gonna use this play PA double post. All right. So one thing you can do, this inside third here is this deep third here is going to follow the post. This is his job. He's inside, you know, he's the middle third. He's going to kind of follow him. Another thing you can do is, because the post will be coming from left to right, the cornerback on this side of the field, whereas in the direction he's going, you can put this guy here in a deep half. You put him in a deep half. Now he is going to help and assist this deep third right here. And now the window for them to try to throw that post out of ace is going to be much tougher. It's going to be much tougher because that deep half, you see how that deep half kind of ran back and got back towards that post. That's why that he's going to help more. So that's the first adjustment I would do, and to kind of take that away. And then, like I said, if all else fails and you are getting dotted, scream at them. Just scream at them. Send more people. Can't throw it deep when you don't have time. But yes, I'm on next gen. But yeah, if you let them roll out, so if you're just coming in, go back and rewatch the past broadcast. Go back and rewatch the past broadcast and see what I just showed. I answered someone's question. They asked about how do you contain someone. Look at the concept I gave, the tip I gave on how to contain people if they're rolling out, you know, to get those post routes open. Look at that concept as well. That's another way you can kind of try to slow them down. All right, Sally in the Discord asks, what's up, Bugs? When going up against cover 6, what are some route combos that can work? I would streak the tight end. All right, one thing you guys want to keep in mind, you can't just speak in general, and you gotta keep in mind, I don't necessarily know what formation you're talking about. So I'm gonna try to give the most generic response as possible because it's hard to answer a question without knowing the context or the formation or whatever the case may be that you might be asking. But how to attack when going up against cover 6 route combos. Okay, so if they are running cover 6 is a match defense. So it depends on what formation you're in, on how you attack it, and what's the combo. But a basic combo that'll work against cover 6 is on the quarters side of the cover 6. A simple curl flat combination would kill it. A simple curl flat combo would kill it. On the cover 2 side of the cover 6, because there's two sides. There's a quarter side, and then there's a cover 2 side of cover 6. I'm going to show you guys what I mean on which side you need to, on how you expose which side. So on the quarter side, a simple cover, let me see. A simple curl flat combo would kill it. This don't have cover 6? I got cover 6 invert. I'm looking for a regular traditional cover 6, but oh, here we go. Cover 6. This got a curl flat combo. All right, curl combo. Okay, so this got a curl flat combination on it here. Just watch what happens. It has a curl flat combo on the quarter side. So watch what happens on the quarter side, and watch how the curl route gets open. Oh god, he's terrible. That ball sailed, but he do it to the right spot. as you can see, the computer just threw it to the right spot. So what happens is, on that combination, what's going to happen, the flat is going to push out the flats. And then the inside quarter, he's going to kind of sit a little bit on him. And it depends on what formation you're in. It really does. It really does depend on what formation you're in. But there's always going to be that little opening for you to throw that curl route to him once the flats open up. All right. Then whatever combination you might have going to the cover 2 side, it just depends on what combination you might have. You might have a post route, or kind of the same thing I mentioned to the guy earlier that asked about a 4 wide receiver to a side combo, like a crosser or a post or something like that going towards the cover 2 side could really give it problems. And that's something you can do. 414 X-ray, how you put the strong safety in a hard flat. It depends. So if you are in cover 3, so if you're in cover 3 sky, right? Let's say you are in cover 3 sky. All you gotta do is press your coverage adjustments and then press down to play underneath. He's in a hard flat now. All right. And if you still want that slot cornerback to play in a curl flat, then you just put his quick adjustment, put him in a curl flat, then boom. Now you got a hard flat on your safety and the curl flat is back on your cornerback. So if that's what you're trying to do, if you want to be able to put your safety in a hard flat, the best thing to do is come out in cover 3 and shade underneath. Another thing you can do if you're in cover 2 or something like that or whatever, another thing you can do is click on them or do the quick adjustment to put them in a curl flat and then shade underneath. That's another way you can put them in a hard flat. How can I get my wide receivers to stop dropping the ball? Possession catch or rack catch. Using the proper catching animation and the proper moments matter. If you press aggressive catch, you're more likely to drop a pass. Whether that's because you're more likely to drop a pass in traffic if you hit aggressive catch. If you're in traffic, you possession catch it. If you're in open field, you rack catch it. You really only go for aggressive catches. It's it's very selective, and it's hard for me to kind of break down like which moments where you want to aggressive catch, because there's so many. It's little like subtle moments where you would want to aggressive catch. Like maybe you make a bad read and you're throwing it right at a defensive back, and you're trying to save yourself from throwing a pick, so you might click on an aggressive catch. Because you're less. It's going to make your receiver play more aggressive for the ball and make it harder for the defensive back to pick it off. But in general, I almost never use aggressive catch. So that's one. You could be aggressive catching way too much. Don't press Y. You would press X or A. Or on PlayStation, it would be triangle would be the aggressive catch, and then square or X would be your rack and your possession catch animation. What are some of the best ways to beat man coverage? Cover 1 and 2 out of bunch. I mean, there's a lot of things you do. Flood is really good. The play flood is one of your better plays against cover 1, and 2 man under. Let's see, do they have flood in this playbook? All right, flood is not in this playbook, but the play flood is really, really good against man. That's going to be one of your best plays against man coverage, whether it's cover 1 or cover 2. Cover 1 or 2 man under. And then another play that will be good is another like passing concepts. Any concept that has like a post route, like a shorter post route, and like maybe like a motion slant going opposite directions. And I'll show you what I mean by that. I'll show you exactly what I mean by that. Here's a concept you can do. All right, we're getting down to the finish line, guys. So about to be rapid fire for the last couple questions. So go ahead and get your last questions in. I'll try to answer them, and we're gonna be wrapping up within the next 5 minutes. within the next 4 to 5 minutes. So flood is going to be one of your best bets. All right, so the stock play flood is going to just kill man on its own. Now I do have an ability. There is an ability on this guy, but even without the ability, these guys get open on this out route. It's a deeper out route, and that deep dig on X is going to get open. Also, another thing that really kills man is putting your running back on out routes and in routes. Your running back is unguardable. He cannot be manned up. These running backs, they get open on just basic out routes. So if you're going up against man, put your running back on out routes. That'll really get them open. Another thing, put your tight end on out routes and in routes. Out routes and in routes are going to be your best friend. Honestly, everybody on this play is about to get open, maybe except for Antonio Brown. Tight end's open. He's open for a nice little rat catch. The slot guy was open. All on basic out routes and in routes. You just want to make sure your spacing is good too. You see my running back out route is low. That dig is higher. The out route is, you see it's nice little spacing. It's about 10 yards of space between him and the tight end. And so yeah, it's nice little space in between that. You see each and every one of these guys got open. There's a window to throw it to everyone. The dig is about to come open. The out route is open. And then your running back and tight end out routes are open. But what I was telling you about the post route. So let's say we do a post route. I'm about to start making plays. Now with this, you would need a hot route master or some slot apprentices or something like that. So you can have a short post. Let's say I got a short post going from right to left. So I could either have a slant going from this guy, or I can put him on the street, have a slant on this guy and motion him over. So now you see what I mean about having a slant and a post going opposite directions. So now the user has to pick between which one he's going to guard. And you see both of them got open, and you can pick which one is going to be open. Another thing you can do is mess around with flipping. So like if you got your bunch on the short side, put your guy on the short post first and then flip the play. Now you got a short post going from left to right. I can do a running back out route like that. I can block my tight end, put him on a delay fade or something like that. So now my running back out route is going to get open. My short post should get open from the solo guy on the left. And then I'm going to motion this slant out. And I'm going to hike him before he stops. He gets a little bit of space. I didn't like how much space he got there. He should have got open even better than that. But you get the point and the concept of what I'm trying to say. So hopefully that helped you out on good concepts, Mikey Jordan. All right, let me answer these last couple questions. Cap money, that's a max protect combo you could probably do. The last one I just did. But you would probably, you can just block the running back. I put the running back out. But honestly, you should not be max protecting in this Madden. You shouldn't do a lot of max protecting. There's no blitzes that really scream like that. Like you got enough time to get the ball out of your hands, and you can kind of throw it to the flats to really expose the defense enough to where there's really no need to max protect a lot. But that last one I showed you, you can use that as a max protect combo if you wanted to. All right. How can I get my wide receivers to stop? Oh, I read that one already. How can I start competing in MCS? Is it only MUT? Go to MaddenChampionship.com. Sign up. The ladders for the next MCS event starts today at 1 p.m. 1 p.m. Eastern. You got 55 minutes. It starts in 55 minutes. Those ladders will be lasting the next 3 weekends, I believe. But go to MaddenChampionship.com. It is all MUT. It is all going to be on MUT. So if you're not playing MUT, then you can't participate, Kaheem. Looking for some good pressure D from Nickel 335. 335 normal. I have no idea how to get pressure out of 335 normal. I would probably say, honestly, you're gonna have to start mixing in. I'm assuming you're talking about regular 335 normal. I'm assuming that's what you meant. The ladders last 8 hours. It lasts 8 hours. Your ladders are going to last 8 hours. So it's going from 1 p.m. to 9, I believe. Or maybe it's 1 p.m. to 8. I'm not sure. I don't know. Or maybe they started right now. I'm not sure, man. I don't know. MaddenChampionship.com. All right. I don't know. I don't make the rules. But I'm assuming you're talking about 335 normal. assuming, I have no idea exactly what formation you're talking about, Jordan, but I would recommend getting in 3-5 wide. It's a little bit better defense, and doing the loop blitz, where you can spread the defensive line, get some pressure. You can contain and get the little loop blitz. That one, I'm pretty sure there is a video on that on the Huddle GG YouTube channel. I'm pretty sure they did a breakdown of the 3-5 wide. But another thing you can do is blitz that slot cornerback. Maybe run like the cover 2 blitz out of 3-5 normal, if that's the defense you're running. Like I said, you guys got to be a little bit more specific on exactly which formation you're talking about. But maybe you could go, you can blitz your standing linebackers and blitz your slot cornerback, and just try to get some pressure that way. But you're not going to have that much success. Or maybe shift your linebackers to the opposite side of where your slot cornerback is. I would try that. Shift those linebackers to the opposite side of where the slot cornerback is. So if your slot cornerback is on the right, like it is right now against this offense, then you will shift your linebackers to the left and then blitz them to try to get edge pressure on both sides, and then see what happens from there. But that will be the best play option. But yeah, there is a blitz plan on the Huddle GG website that breaks down 3-5 wide, and some of that stuff that you might be asking. So that'd be the best bet. But guys, that is today's office hours session, man. Hopefully you guys got something out of this, man. You know, whether you got a question answered or not, how to tackle better, press A. Click on, press A. Conservative tackle, don't, or dive at people. Dive at people more often. Dive. Just press X and dive at them. But the best thing is to be a little bit smarter and safer with your tackles. Just go press A. Like, run towards them and press A. That's going to be a conservative tackle, where they're just going to just go make the simple tackle. They're not going to do anything extra if you don't want to miss a tackle. That's really the best bet. I go conservative tackles. That way I don't miss too many tackles. But if they're further away from you, or you don't want them to get too many yards, you can just dive at them. The diving tackles are pretty crazy in this year's Madden. But like I said, this is an office hours session. My name is Boogs. Hopefully you guys got something out of this. I'm not on current gen, but to my knowledge, a lot of this stuff applies to current gen as well. To my knowledge, because I have quite a few of my subs that have my sub ebook are using my ebooks on current gen, and they aren't having any problems, Julio. So guys in the YouTube channel, watching on YouTube or Facebook, make sure you guys check out my Twitch, twitch.tv/Bugatti Bugs. I stream on there. I'm going to be streaming privately in my Discord for the MCS ladders today for my tier 3 subs, and going to be breaking down. I'll be answering questions for those guys, and they'll get a chance to kind of watch me in my tournament element, and they'll get a chance to ask questions and watch me play some tournament style games today. But yeah, man, I appreciate you guys. And we also have tier 3 group coaching sessions. If you want to take your game to the next level, I do tier 3 group coaching sessions each week. For the most part, I promise 2 weeks out of the month, but I've been doing it every week just because I have fun teaching people Madden. Like, that's a fun thing for me. But yeah, you can go to my Twitch channel, hit the sub, whether it's tier 2 or tier 3. Tier 2 will get you my ebook. Tier 3 will get you the ebook plus the group coaching sessions, where you get to ask more questions and stuff like that. My guy DG, how you doing, man? For those of you on the YouTube channel, I just posted my Twitch link in the YouTube chat. So once again, man, I appreciate you guys, and I'll catch y'all later. I'm about to boot down. I will be streaming. I'll be back streaming on Twitch on Monday. I'll see you guys Monday morning. But if you are a tier 3 sub, make sure you're in the Discord. We are about to boot up and play some Madden in about an hour. So I'll catch you guys later.